AITA for telling my wife to shut up and let our daughter do what she wants after she came out to us? Forgive me if the format of this is off, I only come here because my younger sister says that Reddit might be able to figure this one out for me. I, 39M, have been married to my college sweetheart, 38F, for almost 15 years now. We have a daughter, 15F, whom I have been extremely close with since she was very little. I have told her on multiple occasions that I would do anything for her. She had just come out as bisexual to my wife and I a few nights ago, and my wife went batshit crazy. She started cursing her out, telling her how much of a disappointment she was to her, how embarrassing it is to have an F ******** for a child, and how she'd disown her out if she ever brought a girl home. This was extremely infuriating to me, but honestly, more shocking than anything. My wife has a very strong religious background, being the daughter of a pastor. But I didn't expect her to just go completely apeshit on our daughter. I was only expecting a little stern talking to, but not that extreme. I have similar beliefs to my wife, but they're not so strong to the point where I would disown my own child because of them. I don't have the best relationship with my parents because when I was my daughter's age, I got into some legal trouble from simply hanging out with the wrong people. I spent 9 months in a juvenile detention center and was sent to live with my grandparents because my parents didn't want anything to do with me. That sent me into a deep and dark spiral of depression and feelings of being unworthy, so I vowed to myself that if I have children, I would never walk out on them no matter what they do. I fully support all of my children in everything they do, and do my best to guide and direct them based on my own personal experiences. I spoke with my wife about it and asked if she thinks she could have handled that differently, to which she replied, if it gets the message across that she's going to hell if she wants to sleep with a girl, then no. She then goes on to say that no daughter or child of mine is gonna grow up into a F ********** and embarrass her entire family. This only pissed me off more, and here is where I might end up being an AH. I told her to shut the hell up and let our daughter do what she wants to do. My wife then started screaming at me and practically blaming me for raising a sinful little b **************, and because she takes after her father. And that she wouldn't hesitate to file for divorce if I supported my daughter's lifestyle. I dared her to, and now I haven't spoken with her for the past few days. So now I'm debating if this marriage has run its course on this one argument alone. I love my wife, but I most certainly won't choose her over my daughter in this situation, so I'll leave it up to Reddit. Am I being the AH here for taking my daughter's side and telling my wife to shut the hell up about it? I just want to add this here for some context to a bunch of the comments that I've read. Yes, I share beliefs in the fact that homosexuality is a sin, but there are so many other things that are sin too. Lying, stealing, cheating, sex before marriage. My daughter was conceived to sex before marriage, having a child out of wedlock. My daughter was born a few months before our wedding. I don't think that one sin outweighs the other. But I'm just calling a spade a spade. Sin equals sin. But because I'm no saint, I'm no perfect person by no means. I've made mistakes, I've done wrong, and will continue to do wrong for as long as I live. I will continue to sin and fall short no matter how hard I try not to. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and disown my daughter just because she's done wrong. Because at the end of the day, I'm no better than her. Also, I wholeheartedly believe that homosexuality is not a choice. People don't wake up one day and suddenly decide to be attracted to the same gender. My daughter didn't choose to like girls no more than I chose to be white. She likes what she likes and there is absolutely no fault in that. I did in fact speak with my daughter, and as you can imagine, she was distraught and in disbelief. There was definitely some guilt on my end for not stepping in sooner and speaking on her behalf, to which I apologized for. Her mother was completely out of line and ignorant. I have been reminding my daughter that I love and support her and will stand 10 toes down behind her. She has not spoken to her mom and has voiced to me that she probably won't unless her mom apologizes to her. I honestly don't see that apology coming anytime soon. And lastly, I did in fact say more than just that. But the gist was that I told her to shut the hell up. I could make an entirely separate post for what I said to her exactly. Thanks for all the comments and messages. I was just looking for some reassurance that I'm not crazy for being upset with my wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife. Divorce papers loading, smiley face. Edit #2**. I wanted to make another edit to address another thing. Tons of people have brought the question that if homosexuality is a choice, how can it be a sin? Which is a very fair and valid point. Just wanted to provide some clarification. Whether you believe homosexuality is a sin or not, is your business. The point I wanted to make is that regardless of whether you view it as a sin or not, doesn't matter, truthfully. If you do think it's a sin, gay people are still sinners. If you don't think it is, gay people are still sinners. And so are straight people. I don't look at my daughter indifferently because she likes women. I don't treat her any differently than any other human being. At the end of the day, my daughter will forever and always be my daughter, and nothing will ever change that. Whether she's gay/bi/ etc. I'm no better than my daughter, and neither is anybody else in the world. Sorry for not making that clear, but hopefully this helps a bit. Edit 3 *, hopefully the last edit I have to make, sorry guys. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm just wanting y'all to have my full stance on the situation. I don't care that my daughter is bisexual. It changes absolutely nothing about our relationship. I do think that God did in fact make her this way. Very good points that if homosexuality is a choice, then how is it a sin? As humans, we are sinful by nature. We are all born sinful. We didn't ask to be born that way, we didn't have the choice. We are all made in the image of God despite being born with a sinful nature. We can try as hard as we can to limit our sin, but we will never get rid of it altogether. Because of this, I wouldn't try and change my daughter's sexual orientation even if I wanted to. Because even if she was straight, she still wouldn't be perfect. And her being bisexual doesn't make her any worse than anyone else. I wholeheartedly support her. Always have, and I always will. She is free to love whomever she pleases, and I hope that she will never let anyone change that. Love is love. And as a Christian, I will continue to love and support my daughter, through and through. Commenter 1 *, I just have a question for you. You say you believe homosexuality is a sin, but also that you believe it is not a choice. So in your mind, does that mean God has made your daughter sin? And GT. OOP *, we're all sinners, so in theory, yes. He doesn't force us to, if that makes sense, but by our human nature, we are all sinners. And GT. Commenter 1 *, oh, I understand the belief, I was raised Baptist. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God and all that. I'm just having a hard time reconciling the idea of we're made in God's image and she was born gay, didn't choose it on her own. Doesn't seem compatible, no? And GT, either way, you gotta protect your kid here, man. Your wife acted a total monster then doubled down on it. You've unfortunately come to a fork in a road here where you're gonna have to pick who to have that relationship with, your daughter or your wife. Because if you pick wife, at best your daughter never speaks with you again and at worst is driven to, well, you know. And GT, OOP *, it is confusing, and quite unclear, and in 39 years of life, I have yet to fully understand it. Yes, we are made in the image of God, but we can't be exactly like Him. Think of it as trying to recreate an artistic masterpiece. You can try as hard as you want to make it exactly perfect, but there is some part of it, big or small, that will be different than the original. We already fall short the moment we sin. That's the part that separates us from Him. There's no changing that. The goal is to minimize it as much as we can. And in my opinion, there's no point in trying to change or reconstruct someone's sexual orientation because whether you think it is sin or not, it changes nothing. You are who you are, you love who you love, man shrugging light skin tone. Commenter 2 *, so you realize that sexuality is not a choice, you believe she was created in the image of God, yet her liking women is a sin? So you think your God made her gay as payback for your own sins or something? Good grief, your kid is going to need a lot of therapy. Do her one small courtesy and start saving for that now. ESH besides your daughter. Your edit doesn't negate anything I said. If you think one instance of being a supportive father outweighs the last 15 years, you'll be disappointed. NGT, OOP *, it's not one instance, I've been supportive her entire life. Her and I have been extremely close since she was very little. And where did I say that I think her being gay has anything to do with me? That was all from her mother. We're all born sinners. We're made in the image of God, but in my response to a comment earlier, it's like trying to recreate a masterpiece. Something will be off. Something will be different from the original. Agreeing with it or not, thinking it's a sin or not, trying to change or reconstruct someone's sexuality doesn't magically cleanse them of sin altogether. They are still imperfect, so it wouldn't make sense even if I wanted to change her. She is who she is. She loves who she loves. And I have absolutely no problem with that. Commenter 3 *, I would divorce my wife instantly if she reacted like that and then doubled down on it later. NTA at all. Your wife is disgusting and a sorry excuse for a mother. Protect your daughter, love is love. Commenter 4 *, your sister sent you here because she knew you'd find a ton of support that, apparently, is nowhere to be found in the circles you run in. Your daughter came out as bi and your wife came out as an abusive parent. It was a big week for your household, but only one of those things warrants cutting the person out of your life. I think you already know which it is. And AMP, NBSP. Update. I, 39M, made a post about a week ago after my wife, 38F, of almost 15 years practically disowned my daughter. She went to screaming and yelling out homophobic slurs to my daughter, 15F, after she came out as bisexual. She threatened to divorce me because I confronted her on her reaction and defended my daughter. I spoke with my daughter about the situation to get her thoughts on everything, to which she just said it is what it is and that she was scared that might happen, and that absolutely broke my heart. I reassured her that there is nothing she could do to make me stop loving her and that I wish her mother would have shared that same feeling. Then I broke the news to her: I'm divorcing your mother. At first she smiled because she thought I was joking, then she began to cry because she thinks she's ruined the family. I told her that I wasn't divorcing her mother because of her, but because of what her mother said to her. It's absolutely not her fault. She bawled her eyes out and I didn't know what to say. I just gave her the biggest hug I could and told her that it would be unfair and wrong to force her to continue to grow up in a household with so much hatred directed at her for no reason. I see people of the LGBTQ+ community ridiculed daily in the world, and I'll be damned if I let it happen to her in her own house. That's unhealthy mentally and emotionally. I contacted my lawyer about the situation, and within days, my wife was served with divorce papers. She calls me immediately after and yells at me for defending AF \************* and choosing MY, not our, daughter over the only thing I've ever done right in my life, her. I was disgusted to say the least, but I felt really good about everything now. Everything was crystal clear. My wife of 15 years has shown me her true colors. I did in fact marry the devil. I have a long list of regrets in my life, and not seeing her for who she truly is sooner is definitely one of them. Commenter 1**, while I'm glad you chose to defend your daughter, I really hope you'll re-evaluate your homosexuality as a sin stance from your last post. You may have handled things differently than your wife, but holding that view still puts you squarely in her camp. Is that what you want? NGT, OOP*, thank you. A lot of people have been saying to re-evaluate my stance on homosexuality, which I have. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. I don't have a straight daughter. I don't have a gay or bisexual daughter. I have a daughter, and as her father, it's my duty and privilege to love her unconditionally, support her, encourage her to be her full and true self, and protect her from anyone who intends to bring harm upon her. Commenter 2*, you are a good parent and a great dad. I hope you are recording and saving all this vitriol your soon-to-be ex is saying about your daughter. With divorce comes custody of minor children, and at 15 your child is a minor. You need enough evidence to get the court to give you sole custody of that little girl and away from her evil mother. NGT, commenter 3*, this. Do everything you can to show the court why the mom is an unfit parent. Otherwise, mom could try to get custody just to make both you and your daughter miserable, and you won't be able to be present in her house to put a stop to it. Your soon-to-be ex is a tremendous ass nodule on the rump of society. Our children are given to us to love and protect, unconditionally. People like her sicken me. Commenter 4*, you're an awesome father and an awesome human being.